Chapter 649. In the midst of hunting, Xiao Han's psyche and soul rippled, and he finally discovered the whereabouts of a team of immortals. It was a team of immortals under the Son of the Stars' command. There were a total of 10 people and they were coming straight at him. Upon hearing that it was the Son of the Stars' subordinates, the Black-White Master and the Fish-Rib Master's expressions flickered, and expressions of fury appeared on their faces. After all, when Black-White Fish Arm and Su Huizi had formed a team, they had encountered a Son of the Stars team and been chased like stray dogs. In the end, Su Huizi had sacrificed himself to protect Black-White and Su Huizi. Now that they had encountered a Son of the Stars team, it was no different from meeting their mortal enemies. His eyes were extremely red. Furthermore, the Black and White Child and Fish Lily had each obtained quite a few points. They also controlled and refined Dharma treasures. They also had some foundation for revenge. Even if they weren't a match for Xing Qinzi, the two of them still dared to fight against Xing Qinzi's subordinates. Seeing the excitement on the faces of his two companions, Xiao Han also smiled. Brothers, calm down. Now we're prepared to officially declare war on the Son of Stars. Hence, we definitely won't let this 10-man team go. This 10-man team's overall strength isn't even comparable to the team led by that bitch, Jiangzi, that we destroyed previously. It'll be as easy as blowing off dust for us to destroy them. Let's go, brothers, let's swagger over. After pausing for a moment, Xiao Han smiled again. When we kill this squad, we can let them send as many messages as they want back to the Son of Xing Qinzi, allowing the Son of Xing Qinzi to hear the tragic deaths of his subordinates. This can be considered a little gift from us to the Son of Xing Qinzi. That's right, brother Xiao Han. We have to make the Son of the Stars feel incomparably anxious and insecure. Let's go, let's charge over. Black and White Sun and Fish Stem were also eager to try. Xiao, the three of them flashed towards the Son of the Stars team, which was completely unaware of them. At this moment, while flying at a low speed, the team of 10 under Master Xing Qinzi's command spread out their immortal senses to search the area. Xiao Han is immortal. Mortals have different auras and life fluctuations than us immortals. Therefore, once he enters the range of our celestial sense, he absolutely won't be able to hide from us. However, the range of our celestial sense is also narrow. It's only a few kilometers. If it could cover tens of kilometers, hundreds of kilometers, I'm afraid that little bastard Xiao Han would have been captured long ago. But there's something fishy about this. Xiao Han is just an ordinary person. How could he have accumulated 2 million points? His points were a lot higher than Son of Stars. It should be known that points were extremely valuable. They were definitely obtained through real battles and there was nothing fake about them. Since he had obtained such a large number of points, he definitely had methods to slaughter immortals. He was a dangerous man. If we take the initiative to look for Xiao Han like this, what if his combat power is really as heaven-defying as his points? Then wouldn't we be walking right into a trap? Ha. Don't worry too much. No matter how powerful a mortal was, how powerful could he be? In terms of points, Xiao Han's points are so much higher than Son of Stars. In other words, Xiao Han's combat power is several times higher than Son of Stars. Do you believe that? Is that even possible? A genius who was renowned even in the immortal world, after descending to the lower realm, can't defeat a mortal? There's no such thing in this world. At this moment, a lazy voice rang out. Don't make wild guesses about my combat power. Just verify it for yourself. In the next moment, Xiao Han, the Black-White Sun and Fish Stem appeared in the eyes of the squad of immortals. Oh! The sudden appearance of Xiao Han and his companions stunned the squad of immortals. Then they bared their teeth and roared, "The aura of a mortal." That's right. It's the aura of a mortal. Xiao Han. It's that little bastard Xiao Han. We've finally found him. After searching for so many days, we didn't have any hope of finding Xiao Han. But now he's come knocking on our door. The leader of the squad took a step forward. His aura surged and he had more than 100,000 points above his head. Immortal light glowed, a clear sign that he had refined immortal treasures. He held a communication spirit stone in his hand as he stared at Xiao Han, Fish Stem and the Black-White Sun. Although Yu Yangzi and He Heizi had also refined their own Dharma treasures, their immortal chi wasn't as pure as before. This was because Xiao Han had disguised them. He'd split off 2 strands of spirit turtle true chi and attached them to the Black-White Sun and Fish Stem's bodies, concealing a portion of the ripples of immortal treasures. As a result, although the Black-White Sun and Fish Stem had more points than the leader of the squad, the glow of their immortal treasures was dim and unremarkable. It was easy for others to believe that they were ordinary. The leader of the immortals had noticed the calmness of He Baizi and Yu Lizi as well as Xiao Han's calmness. Because of that, he grew even more confident. He Baizi, Yu Lizi, you two pieces of trash actually dared to mix with Xiao Han? If it weren't for the fact that you two were fast enough to escape last time, if it weren't for that idiot Su Huizi blocking death for you two, the two of you would have been turned to ash long ago. How dare you appear before us now? You! The black-white sun and fish stem were enraged. Xiao Han waved his hand, indicating that they should not be rash. You're one of Xing Qinzi's lackeys, aren't you? Xiao Han smiled at the leader. How dare you? The leader bristled with anger. Xiao Han, I see that you're just a mortal. There's nothing special about you. You must have gotten those 2 million points out of pure luck. The 10 immortals were dazzled when they saw Xiao Han's points. Xiao Han, do you have the feeling that the net of heaven has a long arm but no one can escape? Be executed. How dare you murder our big brother Xing Qinzi's beloved woman, Jiang Zi? That's a heinous crime. You're going to die in the 4th region, and your family, your plane, and anyone related to you will all be crushed by Big Bro Stellar Chin. Some of the immortals were getting very excited by the points floating above Xiao Han's head. They roared incessantly. Xiao Han wasn't in a hurry to attack. Instead, he observed the 10 immortals with great interest. Moreover, he deliberately said, Why didn't you inform the son of Xing Qinzi that you've discovered me? The leader of the immortals was taken aback by Xiao Han's fearlessness. Meanwhile, he activated the communication spirit stone in his hand and communicated directly with the son of Xing Qinzi. Big brother Xing Qinzi. We found Xiao Han. On the other side. Roar. Xiao Han. You found Xiao Han? That's great. Tell me where you are right now. The son of Xing Qinzi's voice was extremely frenzied. About 600 kilometers east of our starting point. The immortal leader immediately reported. I'll be right there. Hold Xiao Han back for now. The son of Xing Qinzi barked impatiently from the other end of the communication stone. Meanwhile, after the leader transmitted his voice to the son of Xing Qinzi, Xiao Han glanced at the black and white child and fish stem out of the corner of his eye. Kill? Xiao Han suddenly roared. As soon as the word kill was uttered, the mental energy star in Xiao Han's sea of consciousness directly exploded. Whoosh, 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 dozens of soul-type psychic daggers materialized at Xiao Han's command. Furthermore, puff, puff, puff. In less than a breath's time, under Xiao Han's control, the daggers pierced through the limbs of the 10 immortals. 10 immortals were instantly crippled by Xiao Han. Become a cripple. Ah. Roar. Ah. These immortals let out miserable shrieks that sounded like pigs being slaughtered. It was as miserable as the cries of cuckoos and apes. The screams reverberated throughout the area. It was as if even the heavens and earth had dimmed. On the other end of the communication stone was the son of Star. When he suddenly heard the screams of his subordinates, he seemed to be shocked and shouted at them repeatedly. What's going on? What's going on? Ah. Big brother Xing Qinzi. That Xiao Han. The immortals howled in pain. That Xiao Han is strange. Big brother black and white, big brother fish stem, do it now. Xiao Han said. In the blink of an eye, the black and white seeds and the fish stem. They summoned their immortal treasures and unleashed all kinds of immortal spells and divine abilities to attack. Faced with a group of immortals who had been crippled by Xiao Han, they couldn't resist at all. Even the defenseless immortals, the black and white seeds and the fish stem instantly succeeded. After killing 10 immortals at once, the immortals' points, treasures and power of refinement flowed into the black and white seeds and the fish stem. This also fulfilled Xiao Han's promise to split the spoils with the black and white seeds and the fish stem. Brothers, let's go. Xiao Han didn't hesitate. He took out his storage ring and collected the fragments of the corpses that filled the sky. Then he fled into the distance with the black and white seeds and the fish stem. A few dozen breaths later, Hong, son of Star, almost tore through space as he led his subordinates to the area where the 10 immortals had died. Trembling, one of Master Xing's subordinates said, Big brother Xing Qinzi, it seems like a fierce battle broke out here and immortals perished. Don't tell me that Xiao Han killed our people in this place. Shut up. Son of Star roared in anger and humiliation. Indeed, he was now certain that this was the place where his subordinates had transmitted messages to him and then been slaughtered. 10 immortals were slaughtered by Xiao Han in the span of a single breath. According to the fluctuations of the communication spirit stone, our people couldn't even fight back when Xiao Han made his move. Qing Yun's eyes widened in shock. All of a sudden, the child of Xing Qinzi felt a trace of desolation. For some inexplicable reason, a sense of fear quietly grew in Xing Qinzi's heart. To be continued? If you like this work, you are welcome to come to Qidian and vote for it. Your support is my greatest motivation. For mobile users, please read it at Qidian 9. Chapter 650. At this moment, the Son of the Stars finally realized that Xiao Han was absolutely not easy to deal with. He'd underestimated Xiao Han. He'd severely underestimated Xiao Han. The immortals at Xing Qinzi's side also began to sense Xiao Han's fearsomeness. However, now that they thought about it carefully, there were some clues. Jiang Zi had been killed by Xiao Han. After all, she'd refined an extremely powerful treasure. She'd fought with other teams of immortals, and Xiao Han had killed her with a sneak attack. However, the fact that he'd been able to kill Jiang Zi meant that Xiao Han wasn't an ordinary mortal. Xiao Han hadn't obtained more than 2 million points purely through luck. Moreover, not long ago, Xiao Han had easily and neatly slaughtered 10 of the Star Child's powerful immortals. All of these signs were enough to show how terrifying Xiao Han was. The wind was faint, but when it blew on the Star Child and the other immortals, they felt a chill run down their spines. Big Brother Star, the Star Child's expression grew as grim as an iron plate. Then, he took out a communication spirit stone and sent a message to his subordinates scattered in the 4th region. All of you come back quickly. We need to discuss our plan to deal with Xiao Han again. The Star Child sent a message to his subordinates, asking them to return immediately. He knew he had to reformulate his plan to deal with Xiao Han. Otherwise, Xiao Han might bite back at him. In the end, the Son of the Stars completely regarded Xiao Han as his greatest threat, and as a formidable opponent who was strong enough to fight against him. He was no longer careless. The Son of the Stars chimed in coldly, Xiao Han does have his quirks. I underestimated him too much before and he cost me 20 of my subordinates. Now, I want to pay more attention to this Xiao Han. I have to treat him as my mortal enemy. I believe that there's an insurmountable chasm between mortals and immortals. As long as I take him seriously, I'll be the one to have the last laugh. That's right, Big Brother Star. Not long after that, the immortals under the Star Child's command arrived from all over. Including the Star Child, a total of 80 immortals had gathered. Immortal chi seethed in the sky. The atmosphere was also extremely stiff and heavy. All of the immortals were feeling uneasy, and their hearts were filled with shock. It's unbelievable. Our team was slaughtered by Xiao Han in an instant. They didn't even have a chance to fight back. It looks like we've underestimated Xiao Han all this time. We thought he was just a lucky mortal who could be bullied as he pleased. Who would have thought that he could slaughter immortals as easily as picking up grass? I'm at a disadvantage. We suffered a great loss. However, now that Big Brother Son of the Stars is paying attention to this matter, given our strength, we might be able to make up for it. The immortals were all discussing spiritually with one another. At that moment, the Son of the Stars let out a furious roar. Alright, stop whispering. Master Xing Qinzi was very imposing, and his shout caused his subordinates to fall silent like cicadas in winter. One by one they looked over at Master Xing Qinzi. Eldest brother Xing Qinzi, now that we're taking Xiao Han seriously, please give us your instructions on how to deal with him. To protect the dignity of us immortals, to avenge our comrades, and to ensure that Big Brother Son of the Stars takes first place in the preliminaries, we have to kill Xiao Han at all costs. Listen up. We still have 80 people left. From now on we'll split into 8 teams. However, a thoughtful look appeared in the Son of the Stars' eyes. Unlike before, we'll split into teams and stop searching for Xiao Han. Upon hearing these words, all of the immortals under the Son of the Stars' command froze. Confused expressions appeared on their faces. Stop searching for Xiao Han? There's a change of plan. Each team will search for other immortal teams in Region 4, then contact them. The Son of the Stars seemed to have a well-thought-out plan. We'll gather all of the immortals scattered in Realm 4 together. Then we'll send hundreds of immortals to hunt down Xiao Han. It'll be a great show of force. Is that so? The immortals were taken aback. One of the immortals couldn't help but ask. That's a good plan, Big Brother of the Sons of the Stars, Tian said. However, I'm worried that the other teams won't want to work with us. Don't worry about it. The Son of the Stars said confidently. Xiao Han has more than 2 million points, the Son of the Stars said confidently. Every team in Realm 4, with the exception of us, will want to hunt him down and take first place. For now, we won't waste our time fighting the other teams. Let's work together and take down Xiao Han, the leader of the pack. This is a chance to fight for first place and the other teams won't ignore it. Everyone is jealous of Xiao Han, coveting him. What's wrong with killing him first? As expected, the Son of the Stars had come up with this plan after careful consideration. Now that he had explained the whole story, the immortals were all convinced. Also, the Son of the Stars said, when you contact the other teams, you can exaggerate Xiao Han's battle prowess so that they won't dare to act alone. That way they'll understand the importance of working together. Xiao Han really is strong. Go tell the other immortal squads that not even I, the Son of the Stars, am confident in being able to kill Xiao Han on my own. United we're strong. Divided we're weak. Let's work together to hunt down that mortal Xiao Han. It's time for the Hunt the Leading Sheep plan. This plan is called the Hunt Down Leader plan. The Son of the Stars said in a powerful voice. Plan to hunt the alpha sheep? The immortals exchanged glances with one another. Then, we understand, Big Brother Star. The Son of the Stars subordinate said eagerly. In that case, let's split up and contact the other immortals scattered in the 4th region. Go on. The Son of the Stars waved his hand. Be careful. If you run into Xiao Han, don't fight him head-on. Avoid him for now. Once we gather our men, we'll hunt him down. That way we'll be absolutely safe. Understood. Xiao. The immortals split into 8 squads and flew off in different directions. While the Sons of the Stars were discussing the Hunt Down Leader plan, Xiao Han was stealthily lurking on a hill about 60 kilometers away from the Sons of the Stars and the others. At this distance, the Sons of the Stars and the others wouldn't be able to detect him at all. However, Xiao Han knew their every move like the back of his hand. This included the so-called Hunt Down Leader plan. This Son of the Stars really is a wily old fox. Xiao Han snickered. Brother Xiao Han, as expected of the Son of the Stars. Black and White Master and Fish Stem looked at Xiao Han. Should we charge out and hunt the Son of the Stars? Black and White Master asked after a brief pause. Brother Xiao Han, since we found the Son of the Stars' whereabouts, we can sneak behind him and wait for an opportunity to kill him in one fell swoop. Yes, Xiao Han said with a sneer. The Child of Star Chenzi just discussed with all of the immortals in the 4th region to gang up on me, Xiao Han. A group of immortals working together to kill a mere mortal? That's something that rarely happens in the Eons. It looks like the Son of the Stars is very confident in his plan. He thinks he can easily capture me. If that's the case, I won't be in a hurry to kill the Son of the Stars. I'll toy with him for a bit. How about this? Xiao Han's eyes darted around as he came up with a countermeasure. We'll choose a squad under the Son of the Stars' command and follow them. We'll wait for them to contact the other squads, then we'll kill them in one fell swoop. That way, the Son of the Stars will be informed of the situation immediately through the communication spirit stone. We'll kill our way through. We'll kill until the Son of the Stars is the only one left in the 4th region. We'll kill him until he breaks down. Alright. That way we'll be able to crush the Son of the Stars mentally. The Black and White Master said, nodding. That's right. Master Xing Chenzi is too arrogant. Big Bro Su Huizi died a horrible death. If we kill him right away, it'll be letting him off easy. Even if he's a genius among immortals, he won't be able to endure such torture. He'll definitely collapse. That's exactly what I'm thinking. Alright then, brothers, let's choose a squad under the Son of the Stars' command and follow them. Xiao Han spread his psychic fluctuations and locked onto a squad of 10 subordinates of the Son of the Stars. Then he, the Black and White Master, and Fish Arm chased after them. Very quickly, Xiao Han and the other 2 caught up to the small team that was flying in the northwest direction. They didn't have to worry about losing track of the squad if they followed it for about 40 kilometers. Of course, the squad didn't know that Xiao Han had his eyes on them yet. They were currently transmitting sound waves and messages with their immortal senses as they flew. Big Brother Son of the Stars subordinates are contacting other immortals to plan something big. The leader of the 4th region, the mortal Xiao Han, is growing stronger by the day. He's a great threat to us immortals. He's killed countless immortals to accumulate 2 million points. His fighting prowess has already surpassed Big Brother Son of the Stars. If we don't team up, he'll take us down one by one. Now, any immortal team that hears this message can immediately join our team. Let's work together and topple the leader first. The squad of 10 immortals continued to transmit messages as they flew, hoping that the other immortals scattered in the 4th region would hear them. A bunch of idiots. Xiao Han said, following closely behind them like a maggot in a tarsal bone. Moreover, Xiao Han wouldn't make a move just yet. He would wait until this squad of immortals contacted other immortal teams, and then annihilate them in one fell swoop. That would shock the Son of the Stars even more. It would be a huge blow to his psyche. He was on the verge of collapse. Chapter 651. Now Xiao Han and the Son of the Stars were engaged in a battle of wits and courage. Why be you? The Son of the Stars had completely taken Xiao Han seriously. He had divided his subordinates into several squads and taken the initiative to search for other teams of immortals in the Fourth Realm. He planned to unite all of them and form a crusade to hunt down Xiao Han, the leader of the pack. Although the plan wasn't too shocking, it was very reasonable. Yes, if hundreds or thousands of immortals joined forces, Xiao Han could very well be surrounded and killed, no matter how fierce his immortal-slaying methods were. However, Xiao Han used his formidable soul and psychic power to cover a far greater area than these immortals, and immediately learned of the Son of the Stars' plan. At the same time, Xiao Han launched a counterattack. Xiao Han fixed his eyes on one of the Son of the Stars' squads, followed them, and then found the best opportunity to kill them. After all, if Xiao Han hadn't learned of the Son of the Stars' plan in advance, he might also have fallen into a predicament. For example, the Son of the Stars squads had gathered all of the other immortal squads, and then gathered all of them together using communication spirit stones. That way, once Xiao Han's whereabouts were exposed, he might be surrounded. Even if he fought a group of immortals, it was very likely that he would be outnumbered. At this moment, the Son of the Stars squad that Xiao Han was targeting, consisting of 10 immortals, were doing their best to send out messages and sense the other immortal squads in the vicinity. Xiao Han, the fish arm, and the black and white child kept a safe distance from the squad, and closely monitored their every move. In the squad that Xiao Han and the others were tracking, the leader of the squad kept his communication spirit stone on at all times. With the Son of the Stars, with his companions, they kept in touch at all times. At this moment, the leaders of the other squads kept sending messages. I didn't let you down, Big Brother Star. I found a squad of 45 immortals. I've convinced their leader to cooperate with us against Xiao Han. I've also met with a squad of 28 immortals. We've reached an agreement to work together. I've made a point to form an alliance with a large squad of 56 immortals. Now, I'm going to continue searching for other squads. One after another, the Son of the Stars subordinates came back with reports of success. Then, Master Xingqinzi's voice echoed through the spirit communication stone. All right. Very good. Everyone's hard work. He also received some feedback and continued to contact other immortal teams. I believe you. We, the immortals, will definitely be able to kill that bastard Xiao Han. Yes, Big Brother Xingqinzi's plan is progressing very smoothly. The frown on the leader of the squad of immortals that Xiao Han had been keeping an eye on eased. He seemed to have heaved a sigh of relief. The other teams have already contacted the people scattered in the fourth region. We have to work harder. However, just as he finished speaking, there's a team of immortals about 2 miles ahead. The leader of the team suddenly stopped and gathered his immortal sense. That's right. It's a 27-man team. After a short pause, the squad leader waved his hand and said, Let's go. Meet up with this 27-man team. On Xiao Han's side. Naturally, the appearance of the 27-man team could not escape Xiao Han's psychic detection. However, Xiao Han was not in a hurry. He smiled faintly and said, This squad of immortals has finally found another team of immortals. Let them meet up and team up. That way I'll have fun killing them. Hee Brother Xiao Han, Master Xingqinzi must be very nervous right now. Once he finds out that you've killed a few dozen more immortals, he'll definitely lose his cool. At this moment, the black-white child and Yu Yangzi knew Xiao Han was strong enough to destroy a team of celestials on his own. Therefore, they were not worried about Xiao Han's plan. Xiao. It did not take long before the squad of immortals that Xiao Han was keeping an eye on met up with the 27-man team. The leader of the 27-man team was a handsome sword cultivator with a sword on his back. He had 240,000 points hovering above his head, and there were signs that he had refined a celestial weapon. The two immortal squads clashed head-on, and the two sides immediately began to pull away from each other. Oh, a squad of 10? The sword cultivator said excitedly. Ah, what a free gift. A hint of killing intent could be seen in his eyes as he spoke. Meanwhile, the leader of Master Xingqinzi's 10-man squad raised the communication spirit stone in his hand high into the air. Friend, don't be in such a hurry to attack. We're Big Brother Xingqinzi's subordinates. We're holding the communication spirit stone in our hands and are in constant contact with Big Brother Xingqinzi. If you act rashly and kill us, Big Brother Xingqinzi will immediately kill you. He'll make sure you die a graveless death. Big brother Xing Qinzi is currently ranked second in the 4th region in terms of points, and he has refined an extremely powerful weapon. Moreover, big brother Xing Qinzi isn't someone to be trifled with. Therefore you must consider this carefully. Don't act rashly. If you attack, you won't be able to bear the consequences. The 27-man team led by the sword cultivator was instantly intimidated by the sword cultivator's words. A hint of fear flashed in the sword cultivator's eyes as he muttered to himself. The son of Xing Qinzi's subordinates, the leader of the 10-man squad led by the Son of the Stars, went on with his speech. Everyone, Nye Tian said. That's enough, friends. I've come to negotiate with you on my own initiative. I won't use big brother Xing Qinzi's name to bully you. Instead, I want to work with you. A look of realization flashed across the sword cultivator's face as he nodded slightly. Work with you? Earlier, I heard that Master Xing Qinzi invited us immortal squads to join forces against Xiao Han. Looks like the news is absolutely true. The leader of the 10-man team nodded solemnly. Of course it's true. This is the leading sheep hunting plan. That mortal Xiao Han. That mortal Xiao Han has already accumulated more than 2 million points. He's a threat to us immortals. Moreover, as a mortal he openly opposed us immortals. We have no choice but to kill him. That mortal Xiao Han must have mastered some methods to kill immortals. Therefore, if we don't work together, it's very likely that we'll be defeated one by one. Let's work together for now and kill Xiao Han first. Also, big brother Xing Qinzi said that after we surround Xiao Han, whoever kills him will get his points, treasures, and power of refinement. Whoever kills him will get the rewards. The sword cultivator's voice trembled, and his eyes turned bloodshot. More than 2 million points. That's right. Those points should have been ours, but now a mortal has taken them. We have to defend the dignity of immortals and take those points back. Think about it, if Xiao Han really gets the points and spots and kills his way out of the 4th region, we immortals will lose all face. Alright, let's work together. Let's work together to kill Xiao Han. The sword cultivator finally nodded in agreement. Ah, good. Friends, you've made the right decision, the leader of the 10-man team said with a wide smile. After all, big brother Xing Qinzi has the perfect communication method. Only by working together with him will we have a chance to capture that slippery Xiao Han. If you go after Xiao Han alone, not only will it be difficult to find him, but he might even kill you instead. Let's go after Xiao Han together, the sword cultivator said eagerly, licking his lips. At the same time he began to mutter to himself. If I'm lucky, I'll be able to kill Xiao Han while the other immortals are surrounding him. Let's go, the leader of the team urged. We need to hurry and contact other teams of immortals. We'll grow stronger and stronger. Let's go, the leader of the team urged. We need to hurry and contact other teams of immortals. We'll grow stronger and stronger. Therefore, the two teams, with a total of 37 people, temporarily formed a team and continued to search for other teams. Xiao Han informed Black White Child and Fish Rib of his findings. Brother Xiao Han, when do we make our move? Black White Child asked. Fish Rib rubbed his hands together. The team ahead of us has successfully formed an alliance with another team of immortals. They'll definitely be overjoyed and they'll definitely send word to the Son of Stars. If we attack now and wipe them out, it'll be like pouring a bucket of ice water on a raging flame. I'm sure the Son of Stars will vomit blood in anger. Ha 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 ha. Xiao Han laughed. After a brief pause, Xiao Han looked up at the evening sky and said, Big brothers, it's not the time to make our move yet. We'll wait for them to gather more people before we make our move. Don't be in such a hurry to fight. The curtains have already been drawn on our final battle with the Son of Stars. Let's wait a few more days and we'll have to face the Son of Stars head-on. Big brother Xing Qinzi, I've also made contact with a team of immortals. There are 27 of them and their overall strength is pretty good. Right now, I'm making the best use of my time to make contact with other teams of immortals. The leader of the immortal team that Xiao Han had been following also took out a communication spirit stone and communicated with Xing Qinzi. Meanwhile, the Son of Stars had personally contacted 3 teams of immortals. Now he had more than 100 immortals by his side. Looking at the immortals he had recruited, the Son of Stars waved the communication spirit stone in his hand and said, Everyone, my plan is coming to fruition. The 7 teams of immortals I sent out have all contacted other teams. Now we've gathered hundreds of immortals. Let's not talk about the future, but our chances of killing Xiao Han are much higher now that we're united. The immortals by the Son of Stars' side cheered in agreement. Some of the immortals who had been recruited by the Son of Stars had grim expressions on their faces, and their eyes were unfocused. Perhaps they had chosen to ally with the Son of Stars because they wanted to use his power to find Xiao Han, kill him and divide the spoils. However, no matter what, Xing Qinzi's plan to hunt the leader was developing just as he had expected. This made him more and more confident that he could kill Xiao Han. To be continued? P.S. Recommending Qidian's popular guru whose network is so strong that it defies the natural order, and who keeps himself clean. Every time he writes, he burns incense and takes a bath. He is clean and his soul is pure and transparent. Chrysanthemum Pig's Xuanhuan Monster Masterpiece. #1 in the world, this book was very strong. It gave off the feeling of being young and hot-blooded. Anyone who read it would feel as if they were young and inexperienced. Within the book there was a very righteous and pure emotion. Chapter 652. Night. The moon and stars were beautiful. Xiao Han, Yu Yangzi and He Heizi settled down in a tranquil valley with fireflies flying around. Xiao Han did not lose track of the team of immortals in front of him. Of course he would not get too close and be discovered by them. Xiao Han and the other two maintained a distance of about 50 to 60 li from the team of immortals. It was a perfect distance. Brother Yu Yangzi, brother He Heizi, let's stay in this valley tonight. Those guys in front of us should stop and not move forward. Xiao Han smiled. Okay. Yu Yangzi and He Heizi nodded at the same time. The three of them sat cross-legged and nurtured their spirits. Xiao Han looked down. Under the clear moonlight he was like a focused statue. At this moment Xiao Han was looking at his dantian. In Xiao Han's dantian, there were countless immortal weapons and dharma treasures. Almost 20,000 dharma treasures. Now, it would not be an exaggeration to say that Xiao Han was a moving treasure trove. However, Xiao Han's current identity was still that of a mortal. Therefore, among all these dharma treasures, Xiao Han wouldn't waste his refining power to obtain them. After all, when mortals controlled these dharma treasures, they wouldn't be able to bring out the true mysteries of these dharma treasures. Of course, among the endless dharma treasures, the greatest and most glorious was still immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's jade token of inheritance. Any dharma treasure would appear insignificant and dim in comparison to this jade token of inheritance. Once this jade token of inheritance was opened, one could obtain immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's lifetime of sword Dao cultivation. His strength would increase exponentially. He would become the king of the sword Dao in this universe, the ruler of the world. My next goal is to open this jade plate of inheritance and obtain the legacy of immortal Emperor Zhu Dao. Xiao Han thought to himself. He was very clear about the path he had to take. Only by obtaining the legacy of immortal Emperor Zhu Dao and gaining enlightenment will I be able to walk to the end of the 4th floor of the treasure trove and compete with the other immortals. More importantly, I will be able to compete with the demon egg in my heart, the soul of the demon god. However, it's extremely difficult to completely obtain immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's legacy. The refining power required is unimaginable. Forget it. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Now let's officially start attacking this inheritance jade plate. He was officially trying to break through the inheritance jade plate. That's right, it was Xiao Han's first time wasting his energy to challenge the succession badge. Before this, Xiao Han had also obtained the power of refinement, but he did not use it to break through the inheritance jade token. Instead, he used it to break through the divine speed boots and the supreme battle will pill. Now Xiao Han had accumulated more than 2 million points, and the amount of refining energy he had obtained was unbelievably huge. The power of refinement was as deep as the sea, accumulating in Xiao Han's dantian like a black hole filled with crazy energy. What was certain was that Xiao Han's refining power far surpassed that of any immortal in the 4th region. It wouldn't be a problem for him to crush Xing Qinzi by a few streets. With this level of refining power, he could casually refine a large number of magic treasures in his dantian. However, Xiao Han would not waste the refining power on these immortal artifacts and dharma treasures. The inheritance jade plate was the king. Everything else was fleeting. One day, when Xiao Han obtained immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's inheritance, he would be enlightened. By then, any immortal artifacts and dharma treasures he wanted would be within his reach. Right now, the refining power in my body is definitely not enough to break through the inheritance jade plate. It's still a long way off. However, I'll take it one step at a time. Xiao Han's mind moved. His mind directly controlled the raging refining power in his dantian. Boom, all the refining power was mobilized by Xiao Han, not a single drop was spilled. This power of refinement gathered into a giant energy dragon. This energy dragon roared and charged directly at the jade token of inheritance. It charged at the layers of mental restrictions on the surface of the inheritance jade plate. Puchi, a loud explosion burst out from Xiaohan's dantian. A massive, powerful refinement force bombarded the jade inheritance token. It was like the crashing of waves. A tsunami rolled wildly. At that moment, a gap was opened in the restriction on the surface of the inheritance jade token. Xiaohan's mind directly entered the gap. His soul and mental strength enveloped it. Hiss! Xiaohan couldn't help but cry out in shock. He never expected that his refining power could only break through less than 1/50th of the mental restrictions on the surface of the inheritance jade plate. It was too terrifying. It was too terrifying. Before this, Xiaohan also knew that he was only testing the waters this time. He definitely wouldn't be able to break through the restrictions on the surface of the inheritance jade plate. However, he never expected that not only could he not break through, but he couldn't even break through 1/50th of the mental restrictions. It can't be? I've accumulated so much refining power and accumulated more than 2 million points. I can't even break through 1/50th of the mental restrictions with my full strength? How difficult would it be to completely control this inheritance jade plate and obtain the opportunity to be enlightened? Xiaohan's scalp went numb. Such a huge number of points, but the refining power was just a drop in the ocean. The next moment, Xiaohan's mind swept through again. The refining power in his dantian was completely empty. There was nothing left. It was dried up. It was used up. Whew! Xiaohan let out a breath of turbid air. It seems that it's absolutely impossible to break through the inheritance jade plate in the 4th region's preliminaries. Even if I kill all the immortals, it's impossible to break through the inheritance jade plate. I can only wait for the following matches to see if there are more opportunities. There are only slightly more than 1,000 immortals left in the 4th region. Killing all these immortals and obtaining this little bit of refining power is really a drop in the bucket to break through the inheritance jade plate. Forget it, I won't think about the preliminaries. I'll wait for the matches to see what the rules are and see if I can obtain more refining power. Xiaohan also had some ideas. However, at this moment, boom! On the surface of the inheritance jade plate, a warm current suddenly flowed out from the small gap that had been broken through. This warm current flowed directly through Xiaohan's mind and into his soul at lightning speed. Boom! Another explosion. Xiaohan's soul consciousness actually expanded. Hiss! Xiaohan took a deep breath. He felt a slight swelling pain in his head. Then, the solid mental power planet in his sea of consciousness quickly moved a few times. His powerful soul instantly eliminated the discomfort caused by the swelling of his sea of consciousness. Then it was replaced by a wave of comfort and coolness. In his sea of consciousness there was a refreshing feeling. Then Xiaohan's soul penetrated and discovered that the warm current that flowed into his sea of consciousness was actually some principles related to the Saber Tao. This principle was not profound. It seemed to be just the tip of the iceberg that had leaked out from Immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's inheritance jade plate. A little bit of it that had leaked out. However, it was this little bit of it that made Xiaohan directly immersed in it. Hungry and thirsty. Dreamy and illusory. For a moment he was stunned. Originally, Xiaohan was a saber cultivator. His Saber Tao originated from the immortal Saber Tao that had sealed the Heart Demon Egg. The 7-fragment saber technique was also an immortal saber technique that was not common. Moreover, Xiaohan's saber intent had been thoroughly tempered and had already reached the peak realm of great accomplishment. His natal saber chi was flawless and his divine soul could even vaguely see the gate of the ancient saber realm. In this way, Xiaohan was able to quickly absorb the mysteries of Immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's Saber Tao. Of course, if it was not because of his strong soul and strong Saber Tao, this little bit of knowledge would have instantly exploded Xiaohan's sea of consciousness. At this moment, Xiaohan was immersed in understanding the supreme mystery of the Saber Tao. Inadvertently, the natal saber chi that was entrenched in his sea of consciousness became more and more dazzling. Countless saber moves, saber words, and saber comprehension were steaming out from it. Xiaohan's Saber Tao realm actually began to skyrocket. So the saber chi can actually be slashed out like this. Xiaohan was immersed in the deep understanding of the Saber Tao. This was the understanding of the number one person in the Saber Tao. This caused Xiaohan to start learning. It was as if Immortal Emperor Zhu Dao was personally guiding Xiaohan. Subconsciously, Xiaohan's natal saber chi surged out from his sea of consciousness. Pooh! The golden natal saber chi contained a terrifying aura that could slay gods, demons, and ghosts. It swept out. Such a saber intent caused Black White and Yu Yangzi to stand up and look at Xiao Han in shock. Saber intent. It's actually saber intent. After being with Brother Xiao for so many days, I didn't know that Brother Xiao was such a powerful saber cultivator. Yu Yangzi blurted out. Brother Xiao is too scary? Black White said thoughtfully. Trump cards one after another. Every trump card is so powerful. Mental strength, immortal physique, and now the saber intent. The power of this saber intent is enough to slay immortals. Yu Yangzi, you definitely don't have the confidence to withstand Brother Zhao's saber, right? I don't, Yu Yangzi said honestly. Brother Zhao's powerful saber intent is built on the terrifying mental strength of the soul. Using a powerful soul to control the saber intent is the realm that every saber cultivator dreams of achieving. Xing Qinzi is really funny. He actually provoked such an abnormal opponent. Black and White look at Brother Zhao's saber intent. Hiss. At this moment Yu Yangzi's voice stopped abruptly. At the same time Black and White's eyes were also dazed. Xiao Han's natal saber chi suddenly distorted and evolved into a dragon-shaped saber chi. This dragon-shaped saber chi was covered in dense scales. It emitted an ancient and desolate aura that dominated the world and devoured everything. Moreover, the dragon-shaped saber chi was very agile as if it was a living creature. The dragon opened its mouth as if it was about to let out a destructive roar that completely absorbed the surrounding space. Every scale of this dragon-shaped saber chi seemed to be engraved with the essence of Saber Dao. Saber Chi Dragon. Finally Black and White was extremely shocked. This is Saber Chi that can only be cultivated after the realm of Saber Dao has reached a certain level. When I was in the immortal world, I once heard some saber user friends say that the strongest saber user could not only comprehend saber intent and natal saber chi, but they could also use the natal saber chi to evolve into various primordial species, such as dragons, tigers, cranes, apes. That's right. Legend has it that immortal Emperor Zhu Dao, who dominated the immortal world, could evolve his natal saber chi into a primordial dragon. Back then, immortal Emperor Zhu Dao was in high spirits. His saber chi dragon stood proudly on the dragon's head with his hands behind his back. Everywhere he passed, everyone bowed their heads in submission. Now Brother Xiao Han's saber chi dragon this. Yes. I once heard that among the top saber cultivators in the immortal world, only immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's natal saber chi could transform into a dragon. The other super saber cultivators' natal saber chi could transform into tigers, leopards, dragons, pythons, eagles. Saber Chi Dragon was immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's signature move. Now Brother Zhao's natal saber chi has actually transformed into a primordial dragon. Does this mean that his achievements in Saber Dao will be on par with immortal Emperor Zhu Dao in the future? He will become the #1 Saber Dao cultivator in this world? Yes. Chapter 653. After Xiao Han absorbed a little bit of immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's inheritance Jade Plate, his natal saber chi evolved into a primordial dragon that seemed to possess life. It turns out that every natal saber chi of a saber master is composed of saber talismans and saber techniques. In addition to the understanding of the saber, the comprehension of the saber, and the saber intent, the saber chi can be used to attack. This is a normal saber intent and saber chi. However, if I change the order of these saber talismans, saber techniques, and saber intent, it might turn the saber chi into a primordial species. Dragon. Tiger. 1. Ferocious bird. After I absorbed a little bit of immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's saber technique, it was equivalent to him teaching me and guiding me in my cultivation. Therefore, my natal saber chi evolved into a primordial dragon. Back then, immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's saber chi also took the form of a dragon. At this moment, Xiao Han's heart was filled with enlightenment. His understanding of the saber had reached a whole new level. At this moment, Xiao Han's saber Dao clearly contained the shadow of immortal Emperor Zhu Dao. It could be said that Xiao Han had already obtained immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's inheritance. Of course, it was not the complete inheritance. It was just a little bit, an extremely superficial inheritance like a drop of seawater in a vast ocean. However, even so, it was still immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's inheritance. After the saber chi turned into a dragon, my saber intent combat strength increased by more than a few times. Xiao Han was extremely certain of this point. Whoosh! Then Xiao Han kept the dragon-shaped saber chi back into his sea of consciousness. An image appeared in his sea of consciousness. On the surface of the glittering, solid mental power planet, there was a terrifying and dignified primordial dragon coiled around it. Every breath of this primordial dragon contained an invincible saber intent. Once released, it would devour people, tear everything apart and crush everything in its path. I've only broken through 1/50th of the outer restriction of this inheritance jade pendant, and I've already obtained such a powerful saber intent. If I break through all the restrictions and gain complete control of this jade pendant, how powerful will my saber intent be? Even Xiao Han himself was shocked. Xiao Han calmed himself down and stood up, thinking to himself, now my Blade Chi Dragon has become my strongest trump card. It's many times stronger than a simple mental energy weapon. This move is more than enough to kill a Son of the Stars countless times over. Plus, it'll also give me a solid foundation to contend against other outstanding immortals in the upcoming matches. Even if those immortals have refined and mastered immortal tools, I won't be afraid of them. By the time Xiao Han had completely awakened from the wondrous state of comprehending the sword Dao, the sky was already turning bright. A new day was about to arrive. Xiao Han opened his eyes and saw that black, white, and fish stem were looking at him with shocked expressions. Xiao Han couldn't help but smile. Big brothers, I was a little carried away when I comprehended the sword Dao last night. Please excuse me. No. Frail fish stuttered. Brother Xiao Han, your saber intent has become unbelievably powerful. Amazing. The black, white, and fish stem nodded repeatedly. At the same time, Xiao Han discovered that the range of his soul and psychic fluctuations had expanded from 60 kilometers to 80 kilometers. The improvement in the sword Dao has actually strengthened my soul and psychic power a little more. Xiao Han was both surprised and overjoyed. Within the range of Xiao Han's soul and psychic fluctuations, the team of immortals was already ready to set off. They were ready to set off again, contact other teams, and continue the leading sheep hunting plan. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. 37 immortals soared into the sky. The leader of the team of 10 under the Son of the Stars said to boost morale. Everyone, let's keep up the good work today. Let's increase the number of immortals in our team to 100. Once we reach 100, we won't have to fear Xiao Han anymore. The sword immortal nodded. Yes, no matter how monstrous immortal is, no matter how many trump cards he has, he can't fight against 100 immortals. He can't even mount a sneak attack. Yes. The group of immortals was high-spirited and arrogant. Xiao Han stared at the team of immortals and gave the black, white, and fish stem a meaningful look. Big brothers, let's follow them. Don't let those scumbags slip away. Just like the day before, Xiao Han and the other two followed behind while maintaining an effective distance. Soon, Immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's voice reverberated through the fourth zone. Immortal Emperor Zhu Dao announced that there were only 18 days left until the end of the fourth region's preliminaries. Currently, there were 1,400 immortals in the fourth zone. There were no changes in the top 10 of the preliminaries. Xiao Han was still at the top with 2,020,000 points, while the Son of the Stars was in second place. It was worth mentioning that the number of immortals in the fourth zone was also a little over 1,400 the day before. Today it was still 1,400. This meant that there had been no fighting between the immortals in the fourth zone yesterday. Heck, Son of the Stars does have some charisma, Xiao Han sneered inwardly. Under his leadership, the immortals have stopped fighting among themselves. All the spearheads are pointed at me, Xiao Han. Interesting. Noon. The team of immortals that Xiao Han had been following finally had a new harvest. They encountered a large team of 66 people and persuaded them to form an alliance with them. The total number of immortals in the team was now over 100. They had formed a large team. The leader of the 10-man team under the command of the Son of the Stars was beside himself with joy. He took out a communication spirit stone and reported the good news to the Son of the Stars. Ha! Big brother Stars. Great joy. Great joy. I've formed alliances with other teams of immortals. Now, the number of people on my team has exceeded 100. Now, even if we encounter Xiao Han head-on, we'll be able to capture him with ease. Master Xing Qinzi immediately replied. His voice was also filled with a beaming smile. Good. You've done well, brother. Now you can try searching for that bastard Xiao Han. That's right, Xiao Han wouldn't dare face a team of 100 people head-on. If he encountered them, he'd have no choice but to flee. Listen up, activate the communication spirit stone at all times. If you encounter Xiao Han, inform me of his location immediately. Alright, big brother Stars. I hope we'll encounter Xiao Han today. I'd like to see what he's made of and how he got his 2 million points. Ah! The number of immortals ahead has finally exceeded 100. Xiao Han couldn't help but laugh. More than 100? The Black-White Master and the Fish Stem exclaimed in unison. Brother Xiao Han, Can we make our move now? Xiao Han rubbed his nose, his eyes brimming with killing intent. Big brothers, it's time to make our move. What do we do? The fish stem asked eagerly. Now he and the black-white master were bursting with confidence in Xiao Han. In their minds, Xiao Han could kill ordinary immortals as easily as picking up weeds. How about this? Xiao Han said after a moment of consideration. I'll charge forward and you two will follow behind. Then I'll injure all the immortals and you'll personally take care of them. That way the power to refine their magic treasures will fall into your hands. Although Xiao Han desperately needed the power of refinement, there were over 100 immortals in front of him. Only a few of the leaders had a decent amount of points, but it wasn't a lot. They only had a few 100,000 or 200,000 points. Most of them were nobodies with very few points. In fact, most of them only had a few thousand points. They weren't worth mentioning. Xiao Han didn't care about these points. They weren't essential. In order to obtain more power to refine the magic treasures, Xiao Han would have to leave the fourth zone and find a way to do so in the arena. Of course, Xiao Han still had to get the Son of the Stars points. Hearing Xiao Han's decisiveness, the fish stem and the black-white master thanked him in low voices. Brother Xiao Han, thank you so much for helping us. We're friends and brothers, Xiao Han said with a smile. We should help each other. Then he said, I'll charge forward now. Brothers, prepare your immortal tools. We'll clean up the mess at the last moment. All right. As soon as he finished speaking, Xiao Han had already used his movement technique and directly dashed forward. Moreover, he took a detour and arrived in front of the 100-man team. Meanwhile, the 100-man team was still basking in the feeling of superiority and joy of having the advantage of numbers. They didn't even notice the approaching danger and death. In fact, the leader of the 10-man team under the Son of the Stars was chatting and joking with the leaders of the other teams through communication spirit stones. Ah. Brothers, I've gathered over 100 people. Not bad, right? It's nothing. I was lucky enough to gather 200 people. Ah. Even Big Brother Star is full of praise for me. I've also gathered 96 people. Although it's not over 100, it's not far from it. Yes, our plan has been carried out perfectly. Now that we have the advantage of numbers, Xiao Han won't dare to attack us openly. I bet he can't even hide. Now we can start searching for Xiao Han. Dig 3 feet into the ground, find him, grind his bones, scatter his ashes and cut him into pieces. However, just as the leader of the Son of the Stars group was chatting with his companions with a smug look on his face, something happened. All of a sudden the 100-man team stopped in their tracks. The chaotic scene instantly quieted down. All the immortals fixed their eyes on something in front of them. Ahead of them was a slender young man with a somewhat youthful appearance. Treading on clouds, he walked toward the group of immortals. There was not the slightest trace of fear in his eyes. It was none other than Xiao Han. Ha 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 ha. A few of the immortals made strange noises from their throats. The Son of the Stars leader suddenly screamed, Xiao Han. You brat. How dare you show up like this? You're courting death. I'm only here to. Xiao Han smiled bitterly, then said with a serious expression, to kill you scum. Us. Chapter 654. The team of 100 immortals were all in a state of shock at this moment. They hadn't expected that Xiao Han would dare show himself after things had developed to this point. After all, there were 100 immortals here. Among them, a small number of immortals had refined immortal artifacts and magic treasures into their bodies. It was a formidable lineup. Even Master Jialanzi and the Son of the Stars, who were among the best of the younger generation in the immortal world, would be surrounded and killed if they didn't use their heaven-defying immortal tools or magical treasures. Even if a level 3 true immortal were to descend upon this place, it would be like ants biting an elephant to death. Therefore, no matter what, Xiao Han shouldn't have stepped forward so boldly and confidently. In the next moment, the group of immortals spread out and used their movement techniques to surround Xiao Han. They were trapped in the core. Xiao Han didn't move an inch. He smiled but said nothing. When the immortals completely surrounded Xiao Han, they immediately used their celestial senses to scan their surroundings. They suspected that Xiao Han was up to no good, and they were wary of Xiao Han's men lying in ambush. But, apart from Xiao Han and the 100 of them, there was nothing out of the ordinary. The black-white child and the fish stem had followed Xiao Han's instructions to hide in an area where the immortals' immortal senses couldn't find them. When Xiao Han made his move, the black-white child and the fish stem would rush out to clean up the mess. Ah, how strange. There's no ambush in the surroundings. The sword immortal looked at Xiao Han in confusion. Xiaohan, you're a special mortal. The current situation can't be any worse for you. You're facing so many immortals and you've been locked down by our immortal senses. You've already been locked down by our immortal senses, and there's no way you can escape. Moreover, it's impossible for you to possess a trump card that can kill all of us. You coming out is simply courting death. Yes, you're courting death, do you know that? Aha, courting death? Xiaohan couldn't help but laugh. You immortals? You're so full of superiority even in the face of death. How laughable. How laughable. At the same time, the leader of the Son of the Stars 10-man team let out a shriek into the communication stone. Big brother Star Sun. Big brother Star Sun. Brothers, we've surrounded him. We've surrounded Xiaohan. Catching a turtle in a jar. Right now it's like catching a turtle in a jar. The Son of the Stars' voice came from the communication stone, panting heavily. They trembled in fear. Capture him? We can't let him escape this time. Don't kill him yet. Break his arms and legs. Leave a life. When I rush over, I will ravage and torture him. The skin and flesh on his body were peeled off piece by piece, inch by inch. Break all his bones piece by piece. After a brief pause, the Son of the Stars howled. Quick, tell me your coordinates. I'll be right there. Quick. One of Master Star's subordinates said, all right. He nodded immediately. Just as he was about to give the approximate coordinates, Xiaohan made his move. Xiaohan's soul trembled slightly. Psychic energy suddenly spread out. The solid spiritual power star in his sea of consciousness suddenly squirmed. Densely packed spiritual daggers had already been born. After Xiaohan had comprehended a little bit of Immortal Emperor Ju Dao's Saber Dao, his soul and psychic energy had also increased by a lot. Therefore, the daggers that Xiaohan had created with his soul and psychic energy were of a higher quality than before. The quality of the daggers was even higher than before. At this moment, Xiaohan was surrounded by thousands of daggers, glittering with immortal light and rising immortal energy, making Xiaohan look like an immortal descending to the mortal world. He was like a god worshipped by mortals. As soon as Xiaohan unleashed the soul and psychic daggers, the immortals on the other side instantly felt a sense of crisis before death. It was an intuition. An intuition that death was about to strike. Attack him. There's something strange about this guy. A few immortals with stronger combat strength roared. Then, some of the immortals who had refined and controlled Dharma treasures in the team of about 100 immortals unleashed the Dharma treasures in their bodies and were about to activate them to attack Xiaohan. At the same time, the immortals who had not refined and controlled Dharma treasures began chanting incantations, about to unleash their most powerful immortal skills to kill Xiaohan. Suddenly, the immortals who had surrounded Xiaohan were stirred up. All kinds of immortal light shot up into the sky, and auspicious clouds and auspicious chi were stirring. However, this seemingly peaceful atmosphere was actually filled with murderous intent. It was the atmosphere of a desperate struggle. In fact, the current situation was extremely dangerous. It should be noted that Xiaohan was an ordinary person, and he was not wearing any immortal armor. Although his physical defense was comparable to that of an ordinary level 4 true immortal, he was facing the attack of hundreds of immortal skills, including several powerful immortal weapons and Dharma treasures. His life and death were hanging by a thin line. One careless move and he would be blasted into pieces. In the blink of an eye, the immortal's attack was about to take shape. Buff, 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 buff. The thousands of daggers formed from Xiaohan's soul had already shot out in all directions, with Xiaohan as the center. They were so fast that they happened to be even faster than the immortal's attacks. Moreover, Xiaohan controlled the daggers as if they were his own limbs. He was purely controlling his own thoughts. Under Xiaohan's precise control, every dagger was aimed at the spot that Xiaohan wanted it to be. The next moment, every immortal's hands, legs, shoulders, and even dantian were full of daggers. Their bones were visible. Not only did they interrupt the immortal's attacks, they were instantly crippled. More than 100 immortals were crippled. Ah! My arms and legs. All the immortal chi in my body has been destroyed. Damn it. Such a perverted and terrifying method, he's definitely not immortal. Heart-wrenching, lung-splitting screams rose and fell, resounding throughout this area. The immortal weapons and Dharma treasures in the hands of several leading immortals fell before they could fully activate their power. They were damaged by Xiaohan's spiritual daggers. Xiaohan's attack was a complete victory. However, he had expended a lot of his psychic power and he felt a little dizzy. Big brother Black-White. Big brother Yu Yangzi, do it. Xiaohan didn't hesitate as he roared. Boom. Boom. In the distance, the black-white sun and fish stem charged out the moment Xiao Han made his move. In less than a breath's time they arrived. Each of them unleashed their immortal weapons and spells to finish off more than 100 immortals who had been crippled. Points and treasures rose like rivers into the sea. The power of refinement flowed into the black-white sun and fish stems' bodies like rivers flowing into the sea, allowing them to reap all the benefits. More than 100 immortals were dead. The Son of the Stars' terrified voice came from the communication spirit stone that had fallen and floated in midair. What happened? What the hell happened? Tell me. What's going on? Xiao Han grabbed the communication spirit stone with his right hand. He laughed heartily. Ha ha ha, Master of Stars and his lackeys, what kind of hunting leader plan are all of you? You want to rely on your numerical advantage to surround and kill me, Xiao Han? However, I've disappointed all of you. This group of immortals numbered more than 100, but I killed them all. This is just the beginning. Son of the Stars and the other immortals, it'll be your turn soon. Xiao Han will kill all of you. Leave no one alive. After saying that, Xiao Han brought black and white sun and fish stem and disappeared from the area at an extremely fast speed. On the other side of the communication spirit stone, the Son of the Stars held a communication spirit stone in his hand. His expression was unsightly. At this moment, there were more than 300 immortals standing beside Master Xingqianzi. Originally, these 300 immortals, including the Son of the Stars, had been in a celebratory mood. They'd thought that their plan was perfect and that they'd capture Xiao Han sooner or later. Moreover, they'd just received word that 100 immortal team had surrounded Xiao Han. This was a sure thing. The Son of the Stars was already discussing with some of the immortals around him how to torture Xiao Han. Who would have thought that the tides would turn in the blink of an eye? The 100 immortal team that had surrounded Xiao Han had been completely wiped out in a few breaths' time. On top of that, Xiao Han had even told them the secret of the hunting leader plan. The Son of the Stars felt as if someone had smashed him in the head with a club, sending him into a daze. The 300 immortals standing around Master Xing were flabbergasted. They exchanged glances with one another, completely dumbfounded. After a moment of dead silence, the Son of the Stars said hoarsely, "It's the same as last time. It's the same as last time. The moment we surrounded Xiao Han, our men were annihilated by him. The difference is that last time Xiao Han annihilated my 10-man team, but this time Xiao Han annihilated a 100-man team. And the similarity is that when he annihilated the 10-man team and the 100-man team, he only used a few breaths of time. He killed them all in one go without the slightest bit of hesitation. Xiao Han, what kind of immortal slaughtering magic treasure does he have in his hands?" One of the immortals beside the Son of the Stars gulped and said with great difficulty, "Just like last time, Xiao Han killed all of our men as soon as we surrounded him. Xiao Han just said that he wants to kill all of us immortals through the communication spirit stone. He wiped out a team of 100 people with a wave of his hand. That means, he really does have the ability to wipe us out." Qin Mu's eyes widened. "Son of the Stars, your hunting the Alpha Sheep plan has really failed. Xiao Han has already seen through your plan. Now we're being led by the nose by Xiao Han. Who's the prey and who's the hunter? It looks like Xiao Han is hunting us. He's going to kill us one by one and make us feel the pressure of death. Let's call off our alliance, Son of the Stars. We don't want to get involved in this mess anymore. You've got your wishful thinking on your hands, Son of the Stars. Now that you can't defeat someone as powerful as Xiao Han, you're dragging us down with you." The immortals who had been recruited by Xingqianzi began to clamor and criticize Xingqianzi. Many immortals even wanted to draw a clear line between themselves and Xingqianzi and go their separate ways. "Shut up." The Son of the Stars let out an enraged roar that caused the space around him to tremble, and the immortals around him to fall completely silent. "There's no turning back now. You idiots. Xiao Han has decided to fight us to the bitter end. He won't let any of us get away. He's ruthless and decisive. Do you think you can beg Xiao Han not to kill you just because you've drawn a line between yourself and the Son of the Stars? How naive." The Son of the Stars roared. However, at this moment, the high-spirited Son of the Stars seemed to have aged a great deal. To be continued? If you like this work, you're welcome to vote for it at Qidian. Your support is my greatest motivation. For mobile users, please read it at Qidian. 9. Chapter 655. The shock that Xiao Han had inflicted on the Son of the Stars and the Immortals was intense. The fact that he had single-handedly killed a team of over 100 immortals was already a freakish, heaven-defying feat. The hundreds of immortals who'd been recruited by Master Xing Qinzi were all panicking like cranes in the wind. They wanted nothing more than to disperse in a hubbub, and some of them even felt like they were in danger. They'd been scared out of their wits by Xiao Han, a mere mortal, and had lost their will to fight. However, the Son of the Stars reminded the immortals that Xiao Han wouldn't let go of any of the immortals in the fourth realm. What we need to do now isn't to split up, but to unite, the Son of the Stars said with a livid expression. Only by uniting will we be able to get through this crisis. Xiao Han has slaughtered immortals without holding back, which proves that he's a decisive killer. If we don't kill him, he'll kill us. There's no turning back. We've been forced into a dead end. There's no turning back now. Upon hearing this, the clamorous immortals fell silent and looked at the Son of the Stars. AI, you've put us in a lot of trouble, Son of the Stars. Some of the immortals beat their chests and stamped their feet, but didn't voice any more objections. They agreed with the Son of the Stars. We're in grave danger now, Son of the Stars, one of the immortals asked. How should we unite? No more splitting up. We won't give Xiao Han a chance to take us down one by one. The Son of the Stars quickly came up with a solution. Now I'll use the Communication Spirit Stone to summon all of my teams back. I have 6 more teams outside and each team has recruited quite a few immortals. If I can recruit all of them, then I'll be able to summon all of them back. If we can recruit all of them, we'll be able to take in over 1,000 people. I don't believe that Xiao Han can play any tricks with 1,000 immortals gathered together. The Son of the Stars seemed to have regained some of his confidence. Let's stay here for now and not move. I'll summon my men back. Once everyone has gathered, we'll search for Xiao Han at all costs. Once we find him, we'll have over 1,000 immortals fight him. Over 10,000 immortals were fighting against a mortal. Those words sounded absolutely absurd, but they sounded so righteous coming from the Son of the Stars' mouth. It was reasonable. The surrounding immortals all nodded in agreement. All right. Until now, this was the only way. Xing Qinzi, hurry up and gather your men. Some of the immortals hurriedly urged. The Son of the Stars nodded. All right. Then he took out a Communication Spirit Stone from his robe and started sending voice transmissions to his subordinates. At this moment, Xiao Han, Black and White Child, and Yu Yangzi had returned victorious. They were simply full of rewards. That was because the black and white seeds and the fish seedlings had shared a large amount of benefits. Each of them now had more than 30 million points. There were countless Dharma treasures in his body and the power of refinement surged. Ha ha ha. Xiao Han laughed heartily. Now, with your points, you will definitely rank in the top 10 of the 4th region scoreboard. There is no doubt about that. It's all thanks to you, brother Xiao Han. The black and white seeds and the fish seedlings laughed as well. After a pause, the black and white seeds continued. Brother Xiao Han, just now, you single-handedly killed a group of over 100 immortals. It's no exaggeration to say that even if you were a level 2 true immortal in the immortal world, they wouldn't be a match for you as long as you don't use any heaven-defying Dharma treasures or artifacts. Diske, you're still immortal at the end of the day. Once you become an immortal, you'll be unimaginably terrifying. Ha. Brother Xiao Han, if I'm not mistaken, you haven't used your trump card yet, have you? Your real trump card is the dragon-formed saber energy. Yu Yangzi licked his lips. Even if dozens of immortals joined forces, they would be instantly annihilated. That's a heaven-defying killing weapon. There's no need to use saber energy to deal with some immortals, Xiao Han said confidently. The black and white seed said, Brother Xiao Han, the Son of the Stars must be panicking right now. He'll never imagine that you're strong enough to kill 100 immortals with a wave of your hand. His so-called hunting the sheep leader plan has completely failed. The Son of the Stars will feel more and more psychological pressure, and he'll be on the verge of collapse. The fish seedling's eyes were filled with the thrill of revenge. Then he looked up at the sky and murmured, Big Brother Su Huizi, do you see that? Brother Xiao Han is taking revenge for you bit by bit. Xiao Han suddenly said. That's right. Brothers, now that the Son of Stars' plan to hunt the leader has failed, he'll definitely change his strategy and come up with another plan to deal with us. How about this? We'll increase our flying speed and search for the other small teams of the Son of Stars scattered in the 4th district. We'll find out the Son of Stars' current plan from them. All right. The black and white seed's immortal energy surged and transformed into an immortal cloud. Let's go. We'll search the 4th region as fast as we can. Brother Xiao Han, your soul and psyche waves have a detection range of 80 kilometers. It won't be difficult for you to find the Son of the Stars puppets. Let's go. Xiao Han and the fish seedlings jumped onto the immortal cloud. The immortal cloud traveled over 100 kilometers in a single leap. While flying, Xiao Han suddenly smiled at the fish seedlings. Big brother seedlings, there's a bottle of mind-replenishing pills in your dantian that can recover mental strength. Use the power of refinement to refine the restriction, then give it to me. Xiao Han was fully aware of the condition of the black and white seeds and the fish seedlings' treasures. He'd relied entirely on his mental strength and soul power to kill the immortals just now. As a result, Xiao Han's mental strength and soul power hadn't reached a state of overdraft, but it was still somewhat drained. Coincidentally, there was a bottle of mental strength replenishing immortal pills in the fish seedlings' dantian. It was suitable for Xiao Han to consume. Hiss. The fish seedlings inhaled sharply and looked at Xiao Han with a horrified gaze. Brother Xiao Han, there are thousands of treasures in my body right now. Even I can't sort them all out in a short time. Yet, you're able to accurately know that there's a bottle of mental strength replenishing immortal pills among all these treasures? This is too miraculous. Too miraculous. The black and white seeds were astonished as well. Xiao Han didn't explain further. He merely dismissed the matter with a laugh. Of course, the fish seedlings and the black and white seeds wouldn't pursue the matter. The fish seedlings immediately used their mental strength to break the restriction on the mind-replenishing pills. Then they took out an antique medicine bottle and handed it to Xiao Han. Xiao Han took the medicine bottle and opened it. Rays of rainbow light immediately shot out. It was a wondrous sight to behold. There were no less than 100 pills in the medicine bottle. Each pill could replenish a large amount of mental strength. This is great. The effects of this mind-replenishing pill are so strong. As soon as Xiao Han smelled the wondrous medicinal fragrance, the withered, solid mental power planet in his sea of consciousness came to life. About one mind-replenishing pill is enough to restore my mental strength and soul to its peak. Xiao Han immediately took out a pill and swallowed it. Hong. Soon, a flawless halo of mental strength seeped out from the center of Xiao Han's brows. In an instant, Xiao Han's mental strength and bearing became much more vigorous. His blood and qi surged like a tide. All right. Now that I've killed another 100 immortals, I won't feel tired anymore. Xiao Han smiled relaxedly. The black and white seeds and the fish seedlings marveled inwardly. Zone 4. It wasn't just Xing Qinzi who was burning with anxiety. After receiving his message, the teams under his command as well as the immortals they'd recruited, were also in a state of complete panic. He was terrified. Horrified. Behind a mountain, there were close to 200 immortals. All of them had terrified looks on their faces. One of them, a small leader under Xing Qinzi's command, held a communication spirit stone in his hand. Don't panic, everyone. Stay calm. Roar. What the hell? That Xiao Han is completely different from what you've described. You said he earned 200 million points by luck, but he killed 100 immortals all by himself. He's even stronger than Xing Qinzi. You idiots. How dare you trick us into teaming up and fighting Xiao Han together? You're pushing us into a pit of fire. Naturally, the immortals they'd recruited also began to yell. All right. Don't make a fuss, everyone. Arguing won't help matters. Besides, even if you didn't ally with big brother Xing Qinzi, Xiao Han would still kill you. That kid has a murderous nature and he's a monster. One of the leaders under Xing Qinzi's command apologized repeatedly. Big brother Xing Qinzi has a new plan. What plan? All the immortals in Zone 4 don't scatter. Gather together. Gather around big brother Xing Qinzi. When the time comes, we'll have more than 10,000 people, the leader said with narrowed eyes. When the time comes, we'll fight Xiao Han in the final battle. The final battle. I don't believe that Xiao Han can fight against 10,000 immortals by himself. With that, the minor leader of Master Xing Qinzi's subordinates offered a few more words of advice, which convinced the immortals around him to return to Master Xing Qinzi's side with him. Meanwhile, in Zone 4 the other groups of immortals also received Xing Qinzi's message, and converged in his direction without stopping. Meanwhile, Xiao Han, the black and white child, and Yu Yangzi were also flying at high altitudes, searching for traces of the other immortals. I seem to smell the eve of the final battle. Xiao Han said with a faint smile. Chapter 656. The Fourth Region. As expected, the son of Xing Chen and the hundreds of immortals around him stayed where they were. They were waiting. Waiting for the various factions to gather. For some inexplicable reason, the immortals felt extremely anxious. Some immortals couldn't help but pace back and forth in place. Sweat beaded on the foreheads of some immortals, and their eyes were bloodshot. At this moment, our people are back. The son of the stars suddenly became excited as he looked to the east. A few breaths later, we're back, big brother Xingqian. Xiu, 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 xiu. As far as the son of stars' eyes could see, a group of people suddenly charged out from the east. The leader of the group was a leader of a 10-man team under the son of Xingqian's command. The team had recruited some other immortals as well, adding up to about 100 people. Now that these 100 people had returned to the son of Xingqian's side, the two groups added up to nearly 500 people. Rendezvous. The son of Xingqian looked around at the immortals and let out a long sigh of relief. The power of unity is strong. Everyone, we have a strong army now. There's no need to worry too much about Xiaohan. As long as we join forces, we'll definitely be able to fight him. After a pause, the son of Xingqian looked off into the distance with a slight frown, then spoke in a barely audible voice. There are still 5 groups of people outside. I hope they'll be able to gather here soon. I hope no accidents happen. It should be noted that the various immortal teams were scattered randomly in the 4th region. Some were closer to the son of Xingqian while others were further away. Even if the son of Xingqian wanted to gather them, he couldn't possibly get them all to return at the same time. They would definitely return one after the other. In the depths of his heart, the son of Xingqian was silently praying that the 5 groups of people outside would return to his side safely. Xiaohan had tormented the son of Xingqian like a bird startled by the mere twang of a bow. Xiaohan, the black-white child, and Yu Yangzi traversed the 4th region on a rainbow-like immortal cloud. After Xiaohan had taken a great mental supplement pill, his depleted mental strength was already full. Xiaohan was in high spirits. A powerful soul fluctuation spread out, extending for 80 li. As he flew, Xiaohan's position kept changing rapidly. However, the range of his spiritual sense was maintained at a range of 80 miles. This way, Xiaohan would be able to monitor his surroundings. Xiaohan was also very confident. If we fly at such a high speed, coupled with my detection range, we'll definitely be able to find the immortal teams under the Son of the Stars' command. Sure enough, after flying for a short while, Xiaohan scanned the area with his soul force. About 60 li to the west, a group of immortals appeared within Xiaohan's range. Brother Black and White, fly to the west. Slow down a bit. Xiaohan immediately said to He Baizi. The black and white chest controlled the immortal cloud under their feet and headed west according to the direction Xiaohan pointed out. Yu Yangzi whispered, Brother Xiaohan, have you found the target? I found a group of immortals. There are about. Xiaohan's psyche waves locked onto the group of immortals. 154 people. A few of them have refined magical treasures, but most of them are small fries. One of them is holding a communication spirit stone. It seems he's a leader under the Son of the Stars' command. Good, very good. They look like they're in a hurry, as if they're on their way. Interesting. Xiaohan focused all of his attention on the group of immortals. The group of immortals still didn't know that Xiaohan had his eyes on them. At this moment, they were on their way to the Son of the Stars' location. One by one they were shouting. Hurry! Hurry up! It's already dusk. Let's try to return to Big Brother Xingqianzi's side before the sky turns dark. The leader of Xingqianzi's subordinates hurriedly barked. Now, after that incident, the entire 4th region is in a state of panic, and no one is able to find peace. If we run into Xiaohan while we're wandering around, we'll have to fight a bloody battle. Besides, forget it. The sooner we get back to Big Brother, the sooner we'll be safe. That's right, another immortal said solemnly. Although we have more than 100 people, we don't dare to wander around anymore. Only by returning to Big Brother's side can we ensure that we won't be assassinated by Xiaohan one by one. I didn't expect us immortals to be forced into a corner, and by a mere mortal no less. How depressing. It's fine. Once we get back to Big Brother's side, we won't have to run like this. We can raise our battle flags and take the initiative to kill Xiaohan. How can 1,000 immortals not be able to kill Xiaohan? I don't believe he's some god descended from the heavens. The immortals couldn't help but discuss nervously as they hurried along. In the second level of the treasure, not only was the coverage of the immortals' immortal senses restricted to a range of a few miles, but their flying speed was also affected. It was definitely not as fast as flying outside. Otherwise, these teams of immortals would have rushed back to regroup with Xingqianzi long ago. At this time, Xiaohan had already heard the words of the immortal team. Oh, the Son of the Stars has changed his strategy. He's going to gather all the immortals and increase their numbers to over 1,000. Then he'll fight me again. The black-white child blinked. The son of the stars is truly shameless. He wants to gather 1,000 immortals to fight you, brother Xiaohan. He's afraid of death. He's clearly very wary of you, brother Xiaohan, and doesn't dare face you alone. The more the merrier, Fish Rib said with a smile. Soon after, he furrowed his brows. But if he really does gather 1,000 immortals, it won't be easy to deal with them. Yes, although Xiaohan's battle prowess was terrifying, it was impossible for him to fight against 1,000 immortals alone. Even in the world of immortals, a level 4 true immortal, or even a level 5 true immortal who cultivated powerful immortal arts and wielded extraordinary treasures, could only die in a desperate fight against 1,000 level 2 true immortals. Brother Xiaohan, the black-white child said. Brother Xiaohan, since we've discovered that the immortals are moving in the son of the stars direction, we can intercept them in advance. We can prevent them from converging. Yes, Xiaohan nodded slightly and then smiled. We will definitely kill him. However, now is not the time. After pausing for a moment, Xiaohan continued. We'll keep an eye on them. When they're close to the son of the stars, we'll make our move. That way we'll be able to find the son of the stars' location with them leading the way. My psychic waves can cover an area of 80 kilometers. The son of the stars and the other immortals' immortal senses can only cover a few kilometers. That way, I'll be able to find the son of the stars' location in advance without being discovered. That way I'll have the upper hand. Xiaohan was very confident. Alright. Brother Xiaohan, let's not make our move for now. We'll follow the immortals until we find the son of the stars. The black-white child and Fish Rib said in unison. Dusk approached. The day was nearing its end. Like an old man past his twilight years. In the son of the stars area. Currently, only one of the 6 groups had returned to Master Xing Qinzi's side. The other 5 groups had yet to return. This made the immortals around the son of the stars feel uneasy. Big brother son of the stars, are the others going to be fine? That Xiaohan is not only decisive in his killing but also cunning and treacherous. One of the immortals asked worriedly. Don't tell me that kid is going to kill our people halfway? The son of the stars shook his head with a grim expression. There's no danger for the time being. Although the other 5 groups haven't met up with us yet, I've asked them through communication spirit stones. They're on their way here and their journey has been peaceful. They haven't been ambushed by Xiaohan. Moreover, they'll soon return and meet up with us. That's good. That being said, the immortals were still nervous. It wasn't hard to imagine that if the other groups were ambushed by Xiaohan, the son of the stars' morale and faith would plummet again. Their psychological defenses would crumble. The group of immortals that Xiaohan was following. There were 154 of them. Hurry, hurry. We're less than 50 kilometers away from Big Brother Star's group. We'll meet up with Big Brother Star soon. The leader of the Star's subordinates urged. Behind them. Oh, we're about to find the son of the stars' location. Less than 50 kilometers? Xiaohan, who had been waiting for his prey, tensed up his entire body and condensed the solidified mental power star in his sea of consciousness. Big brothers, Xiaohan instructed in a low voice, as soon as the son of the stars appears within range of my psychic fluctuations, I'll attack the group of immortals ahead of us. Big brothers, prepare your immortal weapons and finish them off. Alright, let's get closer to the group of immortals ahead of us. We'll keep a distance of 5 to 5 kilometers from them so we can launch an attack instantly. Alright. The black-white child and Yu Yangzi grew serious and slowly took out their immortal weapons. Xiao, 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 the 3 of them closed in on the group of immortals ahead of them. In front of them. We're only a few dozen kilometers away from Big Brother Star's group. I've already sent word to Big Brother Star. We'll meet up with them in a few dozen breaths. The tense expressions of the immortals ahead of them finally relaxed. They were as relaxed and happy as birds returning to their nests. Finally, we can sleep in peace. On Xiaohan's side. Finally. The son of the stars and the other immortals appeared within range of Xiaohan's psychic fluctuations. The current situation was, the group of immortals that Xiaohan was following was about 70 kilometers away from the Sons of the Stars group. Xiaohan, on the other hand, was about 10 kilometers away from them. Xiaohan was 80 kilometers away from the Sons of the Stars. Now's the time. Big brothers, attack. Be quick and decisive. Kill all the scum in front of us. Xiaohan shouted excitedly. What? Chapter 657. The group of immortals Xiao Han had been following was about to join up with Master Xing's main force. This caused their taut hearts to completely relax. Dubdo. Their faces were full of smiles. All right, it's finally settled. The immortals were all very lazy. As long as we join up with the main force, our numbers will increase dramatically. Then we won't have to fear Xiao Han's harassment. Ah, that's right, we have the numbers advantage. What would Xiao Han dare do? Some of the immortals had forgotten their earlier fear of Xiao Han, and were instead mocking him. Meanwhile, Master Xing was all smiles. Good. The second group will join up with us. That'll bring our numbers to nearly 700. Very good, everything is going according to my plan. However, in the midst of this extremely peaceful, even somewhat warm atmosphere, something terrible happened. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. A dense swarm of jade-colored daggers filled the sky like locusts, appearing out of thin air. They formed a net and flew toward the group of immortals Xiao Han had been following. This could also be considered a sneak attack. From beginning to end, the immortals hadn't noticed that Xiao Han, the god of death, had been following them for several hours. Xiao Han was brimming with psychic power. The quality of the daggers he'd conjured was far superior to the immortal treasures used by ordinary level 2 true immortals in the world of immortals. Moreover, the daggers were Xiao Han's thoughts. Xiao Han was unleashed. It was incredibly fast. Moreover, he could control the angle and position of the daggers at will. Even in a head-on battle, most of these immortals wouldn't be able to evade the countless daggers that filled the sky, let alone sneak attacks that were currently being carried out against the unsuspecting. Moreover, every immortal in the group was in a state of complete relaxation. In a situation where he was completely defenseless. However, after Xiao Han succeeded, he did not stop. In less than a together with black, white, and Xiao Han's psychic daggers summoned their immortal through the bodies of all 154 immortals. Their immortal energy was obliterated, and they howled like animals around him could only see a sky full of immortal light several dozen kilometers away. Images of immortals joined hands to take out their immortal artifacts and dharma screams that made one's hair stand on end, sweeping away the smiles on the faces of the 154 other immortals froze in an instant as if they were newborn babies that had died in their wombs. All sorts of points, the immortal treasures, and refinement power surged into the bodies of black and white voice rang out from afar. Xiao Han also took out his storage ring and collected the countless fragments of the immortals' corpses into it. Then he laughed heartily and said, "Son of Stars finally snapped out of his daze. I've come personally to give you a generous gift. Xiao Han, I hope you'll accept it. You again. You filthy animal." Even Xing Qinzi, who was dozens of miles away, could hear if they were going to pop out of their sockets. The corners of his eyes were torn and blood seeped out. After that, Son of Stars' figure flashed explosively towards the location of the incident, and he howled like an injured wild beast. "Xiao Han, bastard. I'll grind your bones to dust." The Son of the Stars and the other immortals also charged into the fray. By the time they reached the scene of the commotion, Xiao Han was already gone. All that was left in the air were the remains of the fallen immortals, the strong aura of death, and the vengeful spirits that filled the sky. Why? Why did this happen? Why did Xiao Han come to our doorstep? Why? The Son of Stars threw his head back and wailed. His voice was filled with a sense of being at the end of his rope. The immortals around the Son of Stars were even more shocked. Their souls had flown out of their bodies. Xiao Han's assassination method was too brutal. The Son of Stars had repeatedly asked the returning immortal squads to be careful not to be followed by Xiao Han. These immortal squads had been very cautious. They had reported to the Son of Stars at all times on their way back. They hadn't been followed by Xiao Han. However, at the moment of their deaths, the immortals suddenly realized that the fallen immortal squad had been followed by Xiao Han. Like maggots in one's bones. However, the fallen immortal squad hadn't realized it even before they died. Xiao Han had been keeping an eye on this group of immortals the entire time, but he hadn't made a move yet. Only when they were close to the Son of Stars headquarters did he brazenly make a move. This was tantamount to directly challenging the Son of Stars, slapping him in the face. Moreover, this kind of courage could only be described as terrifying. It was the work of a peerless hero. Xiao Han had only used 1 or 2 breaths of time to destroy this team of 154 immortals. It had happened in the blink of an eye. Terrifying. Too terrifying. The immortals felt chills run down their spines. At this moment, the Son of the Stars revealed his hysterical state. He was completely deranged. Chase. Xiao Han is nearby. Chase him. We'll all go after him. I don't believe that we can't kill Xiao Han with nearly 500 of us. Chase him. I figured out where he's gone. Go after him. The Son of Stars gave the order. First he charged at Xiaohan. Black and white. He dashed in the direction where Fish Cripple had disappeared. As for the other immortals, they exchanged glances, then followed Master Xing Qinzi in hot pursuit. After Xiaohan and the other two fled for a short distance, they stopped. Wait. I'll investigate with my psychic waves. Let's see if the Son of Stars and the other immortals have caught up. Xiaohan's eyes darted around as if formulating some sort of plan. The black and white children revered Xiaohan as if he were a god. The fact that Xiaohan could wander among countless immortals with ease and kill them without breaking a sweat was an invincible skill. Xiaohan pondered as he waited and quickly swallowed a mind replenishment pill. It replenished the psychic energy he'd used to slaughter immortals. After a few breaths, Xiaohan smiled faintly. Big brothers. Let's see if the Son of Stars and the others will catch up. Oh? Brother Xiaohan, we just slaughtered over 100 immortals right in front of Master Xing Qinzi. That's bound to make him lose his composure. I'm sure he'll come after us. But, Brother Xiaohan, are we waiting for him to catch up to us? Are we really going to fight him head-on? The black-white child was a bit confused. No. Xiaohan smiled faintly. If the Son of Stars catches up to us, then I'll play a game of catch-up with them. Then I'll circle back to the Son of Stars' lair. At this moment, Xiaohan had a completely confident expression on his face, as if he had made up his mind on some kind of plan. Circle around and circle back to the Son of Stars' lair? What's that? White children blinked. Suddenly the black and white children slapped their foreheads. I get it. Brother Xiaohan, you're trying to lure the tiger away from the mountain. Lure the snake out of its hole. When the Son of Stars comes after us, his lair will be empty. Then the others heading for his lair won't know what's going on. If they return to their lair without knowing what's going on, you'll be waiting for them and killing them. Ah. That's exactly what I'm trying to do. Xiaohan's eyes lit up. Now's not the time to fight the Son of Stars yet. I haven't had enough fun yet. This plan of luring the snake out of its hole made Black and White Z and Yu Yangzi admire Xiaohan from the bottom of their hearts. Soon. Xiaohan. Filthy animal. I'm going to kill you. The Son of Stars' crazed voice echoed from 50 kilometers away. In the blink of an eye, he and hundreds of immortals appeared within the range of Xiaohan's psychic fluctuations.